Hi all, it's Adele. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm not in the middle of this camera and it's bothering me. Okay. I'm Adele. Nice to see you guys. And today I wanted to talk about something that was a little bit weird, a little bit unrelatable, but I didn't know it was unrelatable until very recently. And that is the story of me getting my blood drawn in a pet hospital. So, I'm not going to make a long story short. This is a long form video. So this story took place this was, I think, like at the very start of COVID. Like, not where it was a pandemic yet, but it was like something people were starting to hear about. Like, oh, this weird Chinese virus is kind of scary. But like, it wasn't leaving China or anything yet. And I would have been about 10 or 11. Yeah. And I've always been the person in my family who has, like, tons of, like, dumb health complications all the time for no reason. And so I was having weird symptoms. I was feeling really nauseous all the time. I was just generally, like, unwell. I remember there was one morning where, this was in, like, I was 10 or 11, so it would have been, like, 4th, 5th grade. I felt nauseous. So first thing, I was a very smart child. First thing in the morning, no food in my stomach, drank five water bottles worth of water. 5 water bottles. Can you guess that happened next? I puked it all up. But, yeah. So I was having these weird health complications, and it was looking like type 1 diabetes, which I'd been tested for in the past. Thankfully, thank God, tested negative. But they wanted to draw my blood, basically. My doctor was like, alright, this sounds weird. We want you to get your blood drawn. Seems simple enough, right? Apparently not. Because, for whatever reason, it was either the most convenient or the closest available. I think it was closest available. I was like 10 or 11. My memory is very hazy. Forgive me. The closest or most convenient or the only clinic that would draw my blood that day was a pet hospital. You heard that right. Now, it may have been like a separate cubicle in the pet hospital where they treated human patients, but I don't know why that would exist if it was part of the same clinic. All I remember is I walked into the clinic and no one was there because it was like 7 in the morning. It was so early. It was like right when they opened. And we walk in, and I remember seeing a scale in the front, being like, and the scale seemed awfully not human-sized. But I just kind of ignored it because I was 9 or 10 or 11 and kind of dumb. And then they took me into this cubicle in the back and were like, okay, Adele, we're gonna draw your blood, blah, 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 blah. They botched it so bad. When I tell you they botched it, dude, they botched it so bad. I don't know if it's just because they were used to treating animals because it was a pet hospital, or if my veins really just sucked that badly because I was like a 10-year-old, or what. But I remember it took like a long time of them just trying to find a vein. They had to call another person and like, okay, let's find another vein. And eventually they start, drawing the blood. They start drawing the blood. It looks like somebody was brutally murdered in a horror movie on that table. Like the little parchment paper that makes you feel like a cookie, it was red. Like, a lot of it was red. It was not like one section. It was like dark red. And I just remember, I vaguely remember, it felt like somebody literally taking, a pencil. Literally just taking a pencil and going into your arm. I've had blood draws since then. They don't feel like that. They barely feel like anything. They're not supposed to feel like a pencil jabbing violently into your arm. But, yeah, fast forward a few years later. I have no idea how this happened. That clinic has since been closed. I wonder why. And I thought that this was like a canon experience, like you get your blood drawn at the pet hospital at least once in your life. No, apparently it's not. Nobody in my life thought that was normal. And it's just like one of those, those like childhood memories that are real, and people can confirm for you, but it just feels super hazy and like dreamlike. That's how that memory is to me. But yeah, that's the story of how I got my blood drawn at a pet hospital. Is this something that happened to anybody else? I really need to know. I feel like I'm going insane. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know. I feel like I'm going crazy. Please tell me I'm not going crazy. Bye.